There's a hell of a wind blowing today, so, well, for the minute it's wonderful. It's a lovely cool wind, but it's playing havoc with the chippings in the stable there. They're going to blow everywhere. As you can see, the door is open, she's not coming out, and the other one's pacing up and down looking. But I daren't let the whole lot out together, just in case. Whether the babies are all going to get mixed up or not, I really haven't got a clue. That's why I'd rather have her come out first than let them get away from the door and then open the grill and let her out. I mean, ideally it would be nice not to have the grill up there at all, unless they can intercommunicate like I had with the turkeys and the guinea fowl. Although I did shut the guinea fowl in their side at night. But the babies are all about the same size, and there's no distinguishing marks on any of them, so I haven't got a clue whose babies are who. All I know is that they've got 11 each. So, oh dear, yes, that could be quite hilarious, but we will see. It's a case of chasing this lot out. That little one, he's a bit pathetic. I don't know if I like the look of him. He's not growing, and he looks a bit pitiful. Come on, just get away from the door. You've got a leaf stuck to your foot, man. There you go. You're okay. His wings are growing, but his body isn't. He's pecking around okay, so. Just want her to get a bit further away. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a problem, I think, this, because... Get off his foot! That's it, move the wrong foot. You always do that, you turkeys. So frustrating. Okay, old girl. Here goes. Yep, here goes. Nothing. For the moment. Okay, all your babies are out. Come on, don't get left behind, you two. Come on, where you go? Right, let's see what happens. They're gonna freak. No, don't get on top of the fence. Oh my God, no. Get away from the fence. You want to fight? Go way out there and do it. Away from your babies. Oh, so far so good. I think one of them's round up with all the babies. I've got a feeling that's going to happen. Because I haven't got a clue whose is whose now. I hope they have. I hope they know whose are whose. I suppose they sound different to their babies. I honestly don't know. They sound the same to me. They all look the same. They all sound the same. I only know No Tail because of her mangled back. And broken shoulder because of her busted shoulder, a busted wing. But if it wasn't for those two identifying marks, I wouldn't know which one was which from those two. I just hope their babies know. Do your babies know who you are? I hope so. The babies don't care. Guineas herd. They're nothing but a herd. They can't bear being on their own. They absolutely panic. And they just lay down and die, basically, if they're on their own. They are most definitely a flock bird. Safety in numbers. The only one I know who's broken shoulder is that piddly little one there. I got a piddly little one there too, but hasn't got the Beagle's wings, so... Oh, I suppose hers are a little bit smaller. Well, the majority of them are a little bit smaller, the rest aren't. The rest are the same size. But those are the only two that I can recognise. But if the guineas are all going to herd together like that, which I knew they would do, I knew there wouldn't be a problem with the babies. They would immediately club together in one big mass. But I was a bit concerned about the females, I must admit. Shoulders looking there saying, I've got slightly more babies than I had to start with. I don't know who the hell you are. Are you one of mine? I don't know, but we'll pick up that bit of grass anyway. Oh, perhaps they are all going to sort themselves out. I mean, it doesn't matter if they mix and match, providing one doesn't end up with 2 and the other one ends up with 22. Then it could be a bit problematical. Then it'd be a case of just keeping the 2 females in the same stable and the babies just go between one and the other. But I'm hoping that's not going to happen, so it'd be interesting to see exactly what happens tonight. If they both want to stay in this stable here together and roost with their babies. I don't think your babies can eat that rock. No! That's what we don't have. No. No. Do you even think about doing that with your babies around, you stupid females? That's it, now tread on one broken shoulder. Way to go. And of course the babies will all clamber amongst their mums, won't they, for safety and security, because they don't know what's going on. And they're going to get squished, flattened and trodden on. I suppose that's the problem. The babies are all clubbed together, which will force the females to stay together. And if they decide for whatever reason that they don't like each other, even though they're sisters and have been with each other all their lives, all 1 year of them, then it could end up in a punch up, and then babies are going to get hurt because they're going to automatically clamber under their mums, and their mums start pecking at each other and flying at each other with their feet, and bye bye baby guineas. So I'm just going to stay here for a few minutes longer just to make sure that if they do fight, I separate them until they decide that it's not worth fighting, and just to get on and do what turkeys do, peck and scratch around. We'll find food for our babies. She's going to stay over here. It could be that broken shoulder nicks the lot. Poor old no-tail ends up with none. Might be a bit much for an old girl. Well, you're going to have one. That one's sticking with you. Yep, that could be very interesting tonight. Very interesting indeed. So watch this space. Yeah, all your other babies are over there, dear. Now that one's going to leave you too. Yep. That one's left you too. They prefer broken shoulder. But then her babies are slightly older, so her babies are more independent by a week. So they're not quite as dependent on mum, and will wander off and do their own thing like Maud's babies do. She's one side of the pen and baby's the other. But there is only a week in it, so she's calling. We'll see if her babies come back to her. Oh, you think you're all that now, don't you, broken shoulder? You saw your sister off and now you've nicked all her babies. Yeah, way to go. Trouble is, you can't do anything with them because you can only lift one wing, so you're about as much use as a chocolate teapot in this heat. You are. Right, and females are getting up to each other again. Let's see what happens, if anything. Nothing. Should be like the 2 hens. No, she's... no, she's not. Okay, I thought she was getting on the defensive again before she was having a poo. Beg your pardon, broken tail, beg your pardon. Now perhaps they've had that little bit of a set too. No, she's thinking about it again. Love the way the guineas do that. Jump up and peck stuff out their mum's mouth. You got a nice wind today, look at that, lovely. Your baby might get blown away though. Yeah, they might. Well, now they've all come to no tail. Broken Shoulder's only got one, I think. Yeah, she's only got one. No, she ain't got that one. Well, that's reasonable. As long as they mix and match like that and all get on. I know the guineas will all get on. There won't be a problem there. So it's just a case of hoping that the mums accept the fact that they're both out here. They've got each other as company. They're back as a little family unit again, sisters, and rearing their babies together. Careful, dear. And perhaps one can look after babies while the other one goes off and has a pick around on its own, and on her own, should I say, and does her thing in peace, while the other one takes the babies off and entertains them, and then they swap. That one goes off and has a pick on her own and a bit of peace and tranquility, while the other one takes the babies off and teaches them the ways of life, like how to dust and how to scratch and how to peck and what to and what not to eat, and little pebbles that we must eat to grind up the food in our gizzards. I haven't given this lot sand like I gave last year's lot, because I knew they'll be coming out sooner or later, because I had mums to protect them, whereas of course I wasn't out to protect the other 70 odd that I hatched last year. I wasn't going to stay out here all day with them, so they stayed in until they were completely fully feathered and well over adolescence, you know, very nearly adults. So I fed them sand 3 times a week and picked up small pebbles, which was labour intensive, but it worked. They all did fine. I knew this lot would be coming out with mums and there'd be no need for that, so they're certainly picking up enough grit from small pebbles now to grind down the food. As I give them mash any older, it doesn't matter because it doesn't need grinding down, but I have started to put oats and crushed corn in their mash now to give them a bit more solid food, and not to start weaning them off the mash, because I will always give them mash once a day for breakfast until they get sold on or put in the freezer. Has the soya, etc. in it. I stopped the guinea crumbs and up on the soya a bit, and so they have all the protein they need. So they have that once a day, and the rest of the time they have just crushed corn and oats. So there we are. Oh well, I think that's going to work very well. I don't think they recognise whose babies are whose either, that's why they're not pecking at anybody in particular, they're just doing their thing. She looks very relaxed, old No-Tail. She's taken the pose of look out, protector, and let's see what we can find here, and Broken Shoulders, I suppose, doing the same. Keeping an eye on what's happening. And oh, let's have a little hello there talk. That sweet little noise they make is recognition. You okay, girl? Yeah? Hello, my sweet. So, fingers crossed. Long may it continue. Don't you start flying up the fence and trying to get through, you little swine. I wish you lot would get away from this goddamn fence and go off and play somewhere else. Because the next thing I know, I'm going to find one out there. And I'm going to have to come and look every 5 minutes, which is really going to hack me off. It is. There's far more interesting things out and about down there and in your patch. Yes, there is. Don't need to hang around here. Please spare, aren't you, No-Tail? The fresh air. Thank heavens it's not that hot today, and outside there's a good wind. Perfect conditions for them to get used to being out and about before they all flake out with the heat and don't know where to flake out. They can get their bearings without being flustered and bothered by the excess heat. I'm actually not in a muck sweat for once. I'm standing here quite cool and quite pleasant. as yesterday, just to move my eyes. Be standing in a lake, absolutely hopeless. Turned into a skeleton. I lost over a kilo yesterday with the heat. Over a kilo, that's 1.3 kilos to be precise. And I was eating and drinking, but I still lost 1.3 kilos with the heat. Just perspiring. Grim, absolutely grim. Is that a Joe over there? I hope it's not. I'll just see that off if it is. I'm picking up my babies. Right, we're going to have breakfast now, girls. Are you okay? I'll come and check in on you in a minute. Well, 20 minutes or so, okay? Yeah, be seeing you in a minute. Come to the conclusion, Maud's mad. She has her paddling pool there, which admittedly is in the sun for the minute, but the sun isn't exactly that hot, so I doubt the water has even warmed up, because I put it in there, an hour ago. So what's she doing? She's standing in the baby's drinking water. And they have got a drinker in their shed, but I put that little bit out there, silly little dish out there, for them to have a drink when they're pecking around, so they've got water one end and the other. And Maud's decided she's going to paddle in it. Oh my word, what a loony. Yeah, and your babies can't drink now. Oh, they can't drink. Well, I suppose they can get round your feet. What an absolute idiot. Honestly. But they're growing very well, apart from the tiny little one. But no doubt he'll get there in the end. Always get one or two that's about 6 months behind all the others, growing wise. I don't know why, but I do. That's Guineas. They're a law unto themselves. Yes, dear.